America, we gotta get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. Hey, I know there's so much going on, and I know there's so much going on every day that can outrage us and, shit going on every day politically that we can go at each other with and argue about, hopefully have conversations about, but we argue about everything. And there's a lot going on this week, obviously, but I hope all of you welcome everybody on every platform, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, every YouTube, wherever you are. Welcome. Good morning this Thursday. I hope you take time this week to see some of the coverage of the former president that we will lay to rest this week. A funeral service for Jimmy Carter today. It's not what I'm going to talk about. Every living president is in attendance. Catch some of it. Catch some of the funeral service. I'm sure it'll play all day on C-SPAN. Watch as Jimmy Carter later on in the week is laid to rest. I think it's an important ritual here in America, and it's something to honor. I got, and I don't know, TikTok, if this will be a boring show, but I really just have a question I want to ask everybody. Everybody on every platform. I have a really simple question this morning. This Thursday morning, I want to ask everybody, every Republican, every Democrat, every MAGA, every Trump opposer, every American listening to me right now. And Keith tells me that we've got 7.5 million people listening this morning. That's a pretty good audience. I want to ask everybody across the political spectrum right now, TikTok, you too, just a simple question. And I'm hoping that there's an answer here that everybody listening to me right now will all agree on. No matter your politics, I hope that all of us have the same answer to the question I'm about to ask. MAGA you and anti-MAGA you. Here's my question. Now? Now? Question mark. Now? Let me expand. So, an unprecedented drought combined with unprecedented winds has created an unprecedented number of major fires in residential and urban areas in and around Los Angeles. Right now, people are still fleeing from the fires. Right now, people are dying. Right now, tens of thousands of our fellow Americans right now are homeless and displaced. They've lost everything. Right now, hundreds of thousands of people have been evacuated. Right now, tens of thousands of people are without fire. Right now, these fires are still raging out of control. Right now, firefighters from all over California and Nevada and Arizona are working on 48-hour shifts. You get my drift, right? Right now, and this was true yesterday, right now, people are still fleeing and the fires are still raging. Do you want any of your political leaders to politicize this tragedy right now? That's my question. Right now. Yesterday, same deal. Oh my God, right? Apocalyptic. 5, then 6 major fires. And again, the setting is yesterday, Wednesday, uh, 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 tens of thousands of people homeless, displaced. They've lost everything, being evacuated. They're fleeing. People yesterday in Los Angeles were fleeing. They were running for their lives. As of yesterday, 5 people were dead. When all of this is going on and the fires are still out of control, do you want politicians politicizing this disaster? That's my question. That's my question right now. Right now means yesterday as well, because it happened big time yesterday. Yesterday, when all of this is going on, do you think it's appropriate for politicians, political leaders, to politicize what's going on? Simple question, yes or no. And again, I don't want to deal right now with, oh, but Joe, the fires were caused by, oh, but Joe Newsom sucks. Oh, but Joe, it's the Democrats. Oh, but I don't want to hear that. That's not my question. We can get to all of that. We can get to why this happened, how it happened, were mistakes made. That's not my question. MAGA, don't tell me, Scott, that's not my question. California is a failed state. I want you, MAGA, to try to answer my simple question, right? Yesterday, politicians politicized this tragedy. Do you think that's appropriate? When, it's all about when people are still fleeing and dying, having lost everything, people are without power, they're being evacuated, the fires are still out of control. Is it appropriate, yes or no, for politicians yesterday to politicize this tragedy? I want you, Josh, and everybody listening to me right now to see if you're big enough to just answer that question. I didn't ask you who was to blame. I didn't ask you that. I didn't ask you what you think caused it. I asked you a simple question. Is it appropriate to politicize the tragedy while people are fleeing and dying? Yes or no? Try to answer that. Try to answer that. And by the way, Keith, I don't know if you're able, if anybody answers my question and you want to put it in front of me, feel free to. Uh, while all of this is going on yesterday, and again, I'm going to bombard you with the context. You saw it. 5, and it got to 6 last night. 5 major fires. Laura Morrow says the answer is that they are not politicizing the tragedy. They're stating blah, blah, blah. No, 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 no. If yesterday, Laura, if yesterday, while people are running for their lives, while the fires are still out of control and people are dying, if all of that's going on yesterday, and yesterday you go after Gavin Newsom, that's politicizing the tragedy. And my question, Laura, is you can go after Gavin Newsom. You can go after Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. You can blame whatever. My question is it appropriate to do it yesterday or right now? Should we wait a day or 2 or 3? until the fires have been contained? That's my question. Yesterday, and look, leave it to Trump because this is who Trump is. And Trump is the absolute worst of us. And Donald Trump is incapable of acting any better. But yesterday, while all of this is going on, the fires are raging. The area around Los Angeles is the scene out of the apocalypse. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people have lost everything they have. They're homeless, they're fleeing, people are being evacuated. It's like a war scene. And yesterday, while all of this is going on, there's an active situation, an active natural disaster going on. And what does Donald Trump do? Keith, put up what Donald Trump did. Put up what Trump posted. Right away, people are fleeing and dying, and Trump puts out a post, TikTok, that goes after Governor Gavin Newsom. Trump immediately gets political. Trump immediately attacks politically while people are fleeing and dying. Trump put out another post yesterday, doubling down. There it is. Again, going after Gavin Newsom. And Trump complained about, oh my God, there's no water. And now this is all on me. And look what Biden has left me. Trump making it all about him. But I don't want to go down there because that's who Trump. Reshel, I'm not asking if Trump is right. So to every Trump supporter right now responding to me, try your hardest to understand this. I'm not asking you if what Trump said was right or not. I'm not asking that. I'm asking, do you think it was a good idea, Trump supporters, for Trump to put it out then, to put it out yesterday, while the fires are still raging and out of control, while people are running for their lives and dying, while thousands and thousands of homes are being burned to the ground, while firefighters are out there working their asses off? That's my question. Even if you think Trump is right, do you wish Trump would wait a day or two or three until things are more under control? That's my question. Even if you think what Trump said was right, are you glad he came out with the political attacks yesterday while everything's going on? That's my question. Now, clearly, I think it's wrong. And I want you to think about this. I think every political leader in real time, oh my God, here are these fires. Oh my God, Los Angeles is going to burn to the ground. If I'm the president or the president-elect or a governor or a political leader or a thought leader, all I'm saying and doing is let's pray for our fellow citizens. Let's get whatever help we can get to our fellow citizens. Let's pray for our firefighters and first responders. Let's all, man, we've been attacked by these fires. We're all in this together, and it's all about saving lives and helping people right now, and the political attacks can wait. That's what I would say. But for those of you who disagree with me, think about this. Think about this. Imagine there's a mass shooting in the state of Illinois in a week. Imagine there's a mass shooting somewhere in Illinois. And the shooting, follow me, everybody, is still going on. It's an active shooter situation. There are mass shooters, one or two shooters. The mass shooting is still going on. Innocent people have been killed. The shooters have not been apprehended. It's still an active shooter situation. Imagine that happened in the state of Illinois, a Democratic governor, J.B. Pritzker. And imagine in real time during this mass shooting, while the shooting is still going on and the shooters have not been apprehended and Americans are being killed, imagine right in the middle of that mass shooting, Donald Trump came out and posted, Illinois Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker is horrible. It's his woke policies that have created shootings like this. He's bad on guns. That's why there are shootings like this. Imagine Donald Trump, while a mass shooting is still going on, puts out tweets or posts politicizing that shooting while it's happening. How would you respond to that? Would you applaud that? Maybe some of you would, but don't you think that's wrong? In the midst of an active shooter situation, a mass shooting going down, Trump, while it's happening, puts out a post attacking the Democratic governor while it's happening. That's what happened yesterday. That's what happened. It wasn't a mass shooting. This was still an active natural disaster. The fires were still raging and were still out of control. People yesterday were dying and fleeing, and Trump, the only thing Trump put out was political attacks. No difference, MAGA, than my analogy of a mass shooting. And I want to believe most Americans would be rightly offended if Trump put out political attacks against a Democratic governor in a state where a mass shooting was still active. It was still going down. That would be wrong. Or imagine this. Imagine this, MAGA. Imagine this, everybody listening. Imagine somebody, another country attacks us or invades us. Imagine another country attacks us and we respond. Another country attacks the United States of America, our homeland, anywhere. And imagine that happens. We're at war. We've been attacked. We respond. Imagine that happened. And Donald Trump over here, the president-elect, posts, oh my God, the only reason Canada invaded us is because Joe Biden's weak and Joe Biden's bad on policy and Joe Biden has acquiesced and Joe Biden invited it. Imagine America's been attacked by Canada. And while America responds, Donald Trump attacks Biden politically for causing it to happen, while America is under attack. You follow me. Most Americans, like on 9/11, like whenever America's attacked, when America's attacked, no matter who we are politically, we put our political swords down and we all rally to defend America. If Canada invaded and attacked us, right? Even if you think, even if it happened on Biden's watch and you think Biden's bad, even you Trump supporters, right? Everybody would say, fuck this. We're all Americans. Let's punch back. Let's defend ourselves against Canada. During the war, we would all rally to support America. And when the war was over, well, then there's time to criticize Biden for whatever. Then there's time to get political, right? But not while we're under attack. There's a time to criticize any political leader when a mass shooting happens. You want to criticize Democrats' position on guns or Republicans' position, whatever. But during a mass shooting, it's all about saving lives, finding the killers. And it would be really wrong and really inappropriate, right, for Trump to come out and attack a Democratic governor during an active mass shooting. You want to attack that Democratic governor? Attack him when the shooting's over and we've got the killers. Trump wants to attack Gavin Newsom for somehow causing the fires? Fine. How about he waits until after the fires are under control and have been contained, after Americans, people living in LA, are done fleeing, running for their lives, and those who died, right? Like, the fires are over. Wait until after the active natural disaster for your political attacks. I want to believe, I'm going to believe, that most of you agree with me. And I know most Trump supporters. I know most Trump supporters think it's wrong that Trump came out right away yesterday while people are fleeing and dying. Trump came out right away to throw out these political attacks. I know that even most Trump supporters think it was wrong for Trump to do that yesterday. I know they wish Trump waited a day or two or three. Wait until at least the fires have been contained. Trump wasn't the only one that did it. Trump started it. Almost every Republican then jumped in, blaming DEI, women firefighters and minority firefighters. They're the reason Republicans did that. Oh my God, it's because of this little fish called the smelt. That's why. Boom, 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 boom. Whatever. Every other Republican did the same thing. It was amazing. Every Republican, their first response, like Trump, to this horrible disaster was to attack Democrats politically. Again, Trump is incapable of being better. He's a horrible, horrible person. I'm not preaching to Trump. He's who he is. Republicans have learned from Trump. Trump's an asshole. Republicans are all trying to be assholes. All I'm saying is that's a bad way to be. It's a horrible way to be. Something bad happens and you get political right out of the gate while people are dying. Like, don't you hate it when people get political after a mass shooting, when the blood on the sidewalk is still warm and people are taking political shots? You know that's wrong. Look, I think, MAGA, this will make you happy. I think it was wrong yesterday for people on the left, while Americans are fleeing and dying and they've lost everything, people on the left right away came out and got political and talked about climate change. Fuck that. This is not the moment to talk about climate change. Want to talk about climate change? Do it once we've got the fires under control. Do it once the fires have stopped, and then we can talk about climate change. So my guy did the same thing. I went after these people on the left who got political as well. It's wrong. We'll get to the truth. And by the way, I could have spent my episode today talking about what I think the truth is, that municipal water systems were not designed for wildfires. This was an unprecedented drought. LA hadn't had rain since May. Unprecedented winds. These were 80, 90-mile tropical storm winds. So all the water was there in the municipal reservoirs, but you stop these fires from the air, but the planes and the helicopters couldn't get in the air because of the winds. I could go on and on. The reservoir levels and the water tank levels were all full. All 114 water tanks in that area were full, but there was a 15-hour surge because there were 4 major fires. And so the water, boom, went like that. Again, they were designed in this area to deal with 1 to 2 major fires. There were 4 major fires. And by the way, hydrants are not designed to put out these wildfires. You have to kill them from the air. I could go on and on and on about why I think they were not able to contain these fires. But I'm not going to be that presumptuous right now, because I don't know exactly, Teresa. I don't want to do the same thing. Teresa, great note. Aren't I doing the same thing Trump's doing? Right. I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to do that. Thank you, Teresa, for that. I'm not going to put out my truth. This is what I think happened, because I don't know. I've read stuff. I think I got kind of an idea, but now's not the time. Now's not the time to put out, oh, there was a shooting. Oh, it was a radical Islamist. No, it was a Trump supporter. I'm going to wait until I know who did it. What happened with these fires? I'm going to wait until the fires have been contained and stopped. And then I'm going to do the best I can do to read and study and listen to everybody to help figure out what happened and how we can try to prevent this sort of catastrophe again. Teresa, thank you. That's my point. That's what we all should do. Trump didn't do that. Trump's incapable of doing that. He got political out of the gate. Be better than Trump. Hey, I guess that's what I'm asking you to do. Be better than Trump. Be like Billy Crystal. Listen to me. Don't be like Donald Trump, right? Right? People are dying, running for their lives, and Trump right away starts political attacks. Don't be like Trump. And by the way, again, MAGA, remember, there's time for political attacks. There's a time for political attacks. Not now. Don't be like Donald Trump. Be like Billy Crystal. Be like Billy Crystal. Keith, put that up, will you? Billy Crystal put out a statement yesterday. TikTok, Billy Crystal put out a statement. And before I read Billy Crystal's statement, no, not Bill Crystal, the political thinker, Billy Crystal, the comedian and the actor, Cyrax. Before I read what Billy Crystal said, the comedian and the actor, you need to know, TikTok, Billy Crystal lost his home in Pacific Palisades yesterday. Billy Crystal lost everything he had in a home in Pacific Palisades that he'd been in, that he raised his family in since 1979. Billy Crystal yesterday lost everything. What did Billy Crystal do? Did Billy Crystal put out a statement and get pissed and get political and attack people? No, Billy Crystal, who lost his home, he put out a statement that said, Words cannot describe the enormity of the devastation we are witnessing and experiencing. We ache for our friends and neighbors who have also lost their homes and businesses in this tragedy. Janice and I lived in our home since 1979. We raised our children and grandchildren here. Every inch of our house was filled with love, beautiful memories that can't be taken away. We are heartbroken, of course, but with the love of our children and friends, we will get through this. We pray for the safety of the firefighters and first responders. The Pacific Palisades is a resilient community of amazing people, and we know in time it will rise again. It is our home. So said Billy Crystal, who lost his home. Billy Crystal puts out a statement, barely talks about himself, doesn't get political at all, puts out a statement thinking about all of his neighbors and friends who lost their homes and praying for them and praying for our firefighters and first responders. Hey, America, be like Billy Crystal. Don't be like Donald Trump. Hey, Republicans and Democrats, be like Billy Crystal. Don't be like Donald Trump. No matter who you are politically, he lost everything. So many of our fellow Americans did. And he puts out a selfless statement. How amazing would it have been if Donald Trump had put out a statement like that? Oh my God, what a horrible tragedy. Right now, let's all do what we can to help those impacted by this horrible tragedy. Let's pray for our firefighters and first responders. There will be a time for political attacks and policy discussions, but right now, let's help and pray. What if Trump had put out a statement like that? Imagine. We can't imagine that because Trump's incapable of that, but you are capable of responding like that. You are capable. Everybody listening to me right now is capable of being a hell of a lot better than Donald Trump. Everybody listening to me right now is capable of being like Billy Crystal. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I close with this. Bad shit, horrible shit, tragic shit happens in America every day and week. Can we all try as a rule that when bad, horrible, tragic stuff happens, we all pause and we all pray for those impacted and help where we can help. And we all agree to wait until we know the facts and or the truth before we pounce politically, before we take our political shots. Can we all, myself included, can we all try to do that? People who lost their homes yesterday are doing that. Can we all try to do that? We have to. We'll get to the truth eventually. Thanks for listening, everybody. Joe Walsh, white flag at gmail.com. That's my email, all one word. Joe Walsh, white flag, all one word, at gmail.com. Think of the victims. Pray for the victims. Pray for our firefighters and first responders. And as always, be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social Contract with